Okay, so even though I have a lot left to do, this is like a huge milestone for me. So this August, right now it's July, but in this August, it's gonna be 2 years since I bought this car, okay? I'll throw in a couple pictures maybe up in the corner here of what it looked like when I first bought it, and maybe a link to the video of, you know, when I brought it home. But we are ready to take it for its first drive. I could not be happier with the way everything turned out. The front really came together in the last couple days is what I have been working on. You know, getting the bumper painted and getting all the mounts just right for the air dam and, you know, all the vents and stuff like that. But yeah, everything works. Again, like I said, there's still a lot to do on this car. Probably another few months of interior and wiring, and you know, I got to get covers for the seats. I'm going to order those and then just do it myself. And yeah, I have a little bit more to do in the back as far as, you know, tidying things up with wiring, and you know, I have to bolt this this panel I made down, and you know, I just kind of want to make the interior look good. So a lot of work to do, but we are running and driving on the ECU Master EMU Black. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys, this is actually, I mean, I just drove it out of the shop for the first time in 2 years almost. And I'm going to take you guys along just for a little quick, you know, drive. It's not going to be too far from my house, but I'm going to kind of give you guys like a little overview on the tuning with the ECU Master and what you can do with it as far as like auto tuning and, you know, getting it, getting the car started and just driving. Okay, before you take it to like a professional tuner, or, you know, or you can just learn to do it yourself. I mean, you know, as my other cars, I've pretty much tuned myself. I've actually never taken my Mustang that's over there. I've actually never taken it to the dyno. It's all been track tuning. But this is going to be a little bit different because with the race car, you're not looking for drivability. You know, you're not looking at, you know, different part throttle with different loads. You know, that car, I just wanted to run good wide open, and I wanted to idle and do a burnout. That's really all I care about with that. But this car, it's quite a bit different. You know, you want your acceleration enrichment right. You want the coolant temp to match with your enrichment. There's just a lot that goes into it. Okay, I'm not going to dive into all that, but I am going to show you guys how to basically take a log and then use the log to modify the tune, you know, and make it, it makes adjustments to the tune. Okay, so the way ECU Master works, and a lot of ECUs work this way, they have what's called like a EGO feedback, which what it is you set targets in the ECU. Okay, you set targets for your fuel at different RPMs, different you know, ranges. You set it to where you want, and then when you enable the EGO correction, what the ECU is going to do is try to hit those targets, even if your tune is way off. Okay, so it's wanting to try to hit those targets. Now, in the background, in the ECU, it's logging all that. It's logging whether it needed to enrich in it or it needed to lean it out. It's logging that so that later on we can recall that and then modify the map itself. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. It's really not that difficult. Pretty much what you want to do is just drive the car while logging. Okay, you got to, with ECU Master, you got to use a laptop to log. It doesn't do it in the ECU. Okay, unless you get a data logger, which my other car, I do have a data logger in it. So I don't have to have the laptop in the car. I just data log and then pull the SD card out and then do it that way. But for this, we're just going to log it right on the laptop, and we're going to see when we get done driving, we're going to come back and we're going to see what it recommends we do to the map. Okay. Okay, so that was a very successful first drive, I would say. Totally uneventful. I probably should have brought a fire extinguisher with me because I usually like to do that on my first drive, but everything went well. The car drives really smooth. The only thing I noticed is that we're definitely going to need to look for a 5-speed because, you know, I'm only going like, you know, 50 miles an hour, and it's already the tach is getting up to in the 2000 range. So for these 4 speeds, like most people with 280s with the 4-speed ditch those and get it like a 280ZX 5-speed, which will give me a, you know, a little better overdrive and all that. But so okay, so let's take a look at the log. And obviously you guys can tell that the car has no exhaust on it. It's just a straight pipe off the header, and it's only about 2 feet long. So it's right underneath my seat where the exhaust is. So I ordered some exhaust tubing, and we're gonna put a nice, you know, muffler on there, but so hopefully it wasn't too loud. But anyway, okay, so we went ahead and logged all of that. So this is the log here. So as you can see, I can, hopefully this is coming out for you guys, but if you can drag your cursor back, and you can see this is all the log it just took. All the different, you know, different throttle position sensors and different, what the temperature of the car was, what the intake air temperature was, all that. So that was all logged. So now what we do, okay, is you go over to this top bar here where it says Autotune, okay? You're gonna click that. It's gonna come up with some parameters here. And basically that's saying, I want it to log within this RPM range or this throttle position. Basically you max them out. So whatever your lowest RPM is gonna be, you put that there. Whatever your highest is gonna be, whatever your lowest TPS is gonna be, put that there. That's pretty self-explanatory. So then you just hit OK. All right. So, okay, you see how it brings up a map and it highlights a lot of these cells in here. Okay. What that is that's the cells where I was active in, if I'm saying that right. Like those are the cells where I was driving in. And it's telling me that it wants to modify those, okay? So obviously, like right in here, if you look, this red bar, that means it was very lean. So it had to add a bunch of fuel to get to that particular area of the map, okay? So it's gonna want me to, and the thing is that you have to drive it in all these load zones. So the key is to drive the car a lot while you're logging and try to get it going, like go up hills, go down hills, decel, XL, all that. I mean, you could even, like, if you wanted to, like, put your foot on the brake, give it a little bit of load and then floor it or something like that. And it'll put your, it'll put the cursor in a different part of the map and it'll tune that. So you just keep doing that over and over and over, and eventually you're going to end up with a good tune. So what we'll do is we're going to highlight all this. We'll highlight all this. Okay. And then we're going to back click it or right click it. And it's going to say, do you want to apply this? You can apply it 50% or 100%. I'm going to apply it 100%. So now all this, once I get out of here, okay, let me get out of here. It's hard to do this, guys, with one hand while I'm trying to videotape it too. But let's see if I can get rid of that. Okay, bring up the regular map. So it made all the changes in this map. Okay, so when we turn the key back on, it's gonna come up and say, do you wanna use, because since we changed the map, what's in the ECU is not matching what's on the laptop. So it's asking me, do I want to use what's on the laptop or do I want to use what's in the ECU? And I'm going to choose that I want to use the client. Basically, the client is the laptop. The EMU is the ECU itself. Okay, so we're going to use the client. Okay, and then we're going to come over here and you want to save that. You hit this little ECU button here. and you can kind of hear it make that noise. That means it saved it to the ECU. Now, what you want to do is you want to go and look at, do your split screen. Now you see how the map just looks so crazy now? Okay, that's because we were only in a few of the cells. So it's trying to modify those cells only. It didn't modify any of the other ones that we didn't use. So a way to kind of to clean up the map is you can go and highlight everything again, okay? But I mean, this is not really gonna be a good solution, but I'm just gonna show you guys how to do it anyway. You highlight the whole map again. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is right click, and then we're going to equalize this selection. And what that does is it kind of smooths everything out. Now, that's not the complete answer to the problem, okay? Just, you know, auto tune and smooth out, auto tune and smooth out. You got to do that a lot, and each individual cell could demand a much different fuel, you know, requirement than another. So that's the reason it's important to, you know, make sure you drive it a lot in different load ratings or different load zones, if I'm explaining that right. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works, guys. It's not really rocket science. It's a lot of ECUs do this, and go ahead and save that. So, and that's why you see a lot of guys on dynos using like a load dyno, where they can load it in different areas. Like you can put it on one cell and load that in different ways to see what the car, what the engine wants in different load zones. Okay. Hopefully I'm explaining this okay. You know, 2 years ago I was pretty new to tuning myself, so I just did a lot of studying, watch a lot of videos. There's a lot of good YouTube videos out there on tuning. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good videos on tuning ECU Master, but you know, like Holly and, you know, Haltech. Haltech has a lot of good videos too, and a lot of the Haltech videos will actually translate pretty well over to ECU Master. They just do it in a little bit different way, and sometimes they'll use different scaling and all that on your tables. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I know it's probably getting long, and yeah, the next videos are probably gonna be more interior stuff and building a console, putting a radio in. So as you see, there's still a ton to do. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and check y'all later.